evening and welcome to the April 20th, 2020 City Council meeting. Thank you for joining us tonight in this remote meeting format we're using in response to Governor Brown's stay home, stay safe order. This format enables the City Council to meet and take care of business while keeping its members, staff, and the public safe. Tonight's meeting is an opportunity for the council to hear from select candidates to the city's council nominated boards and commissions. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to present their qualifications and reasons for applying. The Planning Commission candidates will also be asked to respond to 3 predetermined questions following their statements. Our meeting moderator will announce each of the candidates as they are admitted to the meeting. And as always, other avenues of communication with the mayor and city councilors are available, including email and voicemail. Thank you again for joining us.
All right, everyone. So the first person up on your list was Rebecca Blankenship for the Budget Committee. She has asked to go last tonight, and she will be also giving a statement for the Planning Commission. So our first speaker is Edward Gerds, and I'm going to admit him into the meeting now. Hi, Edward. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi, Edward. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. That was very sudden.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. So you're first up tonight for the Budget Committee. And I don't know if you can see the timer on the top left screen. That will count you down for your 3-minute statement.
All right, I can see it. Thank you. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Wonderful. Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name, as you know, is Ed Gerdes, and I'm not used to looking at the camera, so sometimes I look at your faces. I apologize for that. It's a unique new experience. I live in the friendly neighborhood, Ward 1, and before that I lived in the Amazon neighborhood, Ward 2, where I served on the steering committee. My family background is that my mom was a motel maid in Medford. She completed the 10th grade, Spanish descent, and our family branch immigrated through the Southwest.
Hello.
I see you there, Betty. We're all good. This is Julie again. So I'll drop off now. Yeah.
Welcome, Councilor Taylor. My dad was a carpenter of German descent. Our family branch immigrated through Ellis Island. I have had a successful professional career, over 10 years with Cafe Yum Restaurants to over 20 in the Pacific Northwest. I practiced civil law for over 30 years. I've been a legal aid lawyer. I was the executive director of the Science Factory Children's Museum. And before law school, I worked as a social worker, helping seniors in the Burnside area of Portland. I also served in the Peace Corps. Some of my community service includes 6 years as a member of the Lane Transit District Budget Committee, served on Mayor Piercy's sick leave task force. I testified before the joint legislative hearings chaired by Representative Paul Hovey in support of statewide sick leave. And I have served on several nonprofit boards of directors. And finally, my wife and I have been certified foster care parents. I wish to serve on the Budget Committee because I believe giving to others improves my life as well as theirs. Some strengths I can put to good use on the Budget Committee include strategic planning, setting reasonable budget goals, achieving realistic objectives, thinking outside the box, transparency and decision-making. I possess a varied and unique life perspective, and I work well and collaboratively with others. I think as we come through the COVID-19 pandemic, we are going to face many challenges. For one, the city can likely anticipate a reduction in revenue. and that may need us to or require us to reevaluate spending priorities. In doing that, I would like to help retain those things that make Eugene so livable. I believe important areas for the City Council and the Budget Committee to address are to ensure safe shelters for everyone, eliminate homelessness, and provide affordable housing. To maintain infrastructure like parks, efficient modes of transportation, and quality schools. To use police, fire, cahoots, and other medical resources for what they do best, and to efficiently use all of our resources for maximum benefit. Thank you for listening and for your consideration. Do I press the leave meeting button now?
Emily?
Is that a yes? Thank you.
All right, next up we have Raina Jackson. Hi, Raina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine. If you look in the top left corner of your screen, you'll see a timer.
Yes, 3 minutes.
3 minutes. So whenever you're ready, we are ready for you.
Perfect. This is great. Well, hello, everyone, and members of the Eugene City Council. My name is Raina Jackson. I was born and raised here in Eugene and come from a family with deep roots in civic engagement. With that background, I have always been a part of the solution-making process for various boards and organizations and look to do the same with the Budget Committee. I currently work for the University of Oregon School of Law as a marketing specialist, and prior to that, I was at UCLA for about 7.5 years. And before that, I worked with the City of Eugene for almost 7 years. So this committee is a great opportunity to be a part of a process that ensures that the City of Eugene's budget is equitable and sustainable. This committee is also a great opportunity to use my experience working with diverse groups. My interests are varied. I sit on the current City of Eugene Parks and Rec Bond Levy Advisory Board. I consult with the University of Oregon's Black Alumni Network, and I even sing at my local church and work with kindergarten kids in my free time. The underlying factor with all of these groups is people. I get people, young, old, rich, poor, all demographics. Additionally, this is a great chance to help make sure that all of those demographics are considered during the budget process. I believe that my experience with LCC's Board of Education, where I helped establish policies governing the operation of the college and for adopting the college's annual budget gives me the skill set necessary for this role. And additionally, my current experience on the city's Park and Rec Levy Bond Advisory Board can give you further insight as to how I'm ready and willing to be an engaged contributor. So I hope this gives you a glimpse at who I am and why I would be an asset to the Budget Committee. So thank you for your time and have a good evening.
Next up, we have Ryan Kanofsky. Hi, Ryan. Can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. If you look in the top left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see your 3-minute timer countdown.
Yep, I see that.
Whenever you're ready, you are welcome to start.
Alrighty. Well, good evening, City Council. My name is Ryan Kanowski, and I'm interested in serving on the Budget Committee. I applied for this appointment to this committee because I want to use my experience to help craft a budget that not only reflects the values of those that live here, but truly reflects the people that call Eugene home. In my day job, I'm the Chief of Staff for one of our state representatives that chairs one of the 6 state budget subcommittees. It is my job to help evaluate the various budget proposals that impact our state agencies, balancing all types of revenue sources to create budgets that support Oregonians. This means meeting with stakeholders on all sides of issues, understanding how funding sources play into what is able to be done, and maybe most importantly, figuring out what might go unfunded if this decision is made. I want to use this experience of creative budget building to benefit all Eugenians on the Eugene Budget Committee. Tapping into a mix of funding sources is going to be incredibly important in the post-COVID-19 future. There'll be various types of grants, loans, and matching fund programs that will be necessary to keep vital city services from being reduced. And we know that now more than ever, Eugene residents are going to need these services to get back on their feet. I want to use this depth of knowledge on budgets to find creative solutions and get the work done for those who rely on local leadership to provide some stability in their lives. My background in local activism and legislative work gives me the experience necessary to be an effective budget committee member. Since 2011, I've worked on and managed dozens of local campaigns, talking to thousands of constituents in every city ward. Eugenians have told me stories about what they rely on from their local government. I was able to have the same type of community engagement when I worked for Representative Phil Barnhart's office, joining him at all of our constituent meetings and being the main contact in our office for constituent resources to help those who are in need. As a member of the Budget Committee, I look forward to using that experience to engage community members across Eugene and to hear what folks truly need. One key aspect of my job working for legislators is reading and understanding hundreds of pages of legislative documents. Since working for a co-chair of a budget subcommittee, as well as a chair of a revenue committee, it's necessary for me to analyze documents that outline revenues, expenditures, and the intricate policies and values behind those decisions. I look forward to the hard work and hours of necessary research to truly understand not only the budget, but what the real world impacts of our funding decisions mean for our neighbors. I grew up in the shadow of Eugene and Cresswell and have called Eugene my home since attending U of O in 2009. Eugene is where my wife and I bought our first home in the Harlow neighborhood and where we hope to enjoy many years together. Eugene is my home, and that is what drove me to apply to serve on the Budget Committee. I want to be part of a team that drives the strongest budget possible to support a vibrant future for a growing Eugene. Thank you, City Council, for your time tonight, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Thank you, Ryan. They'll reach out if they have questions, and you'll hear from staff more about the final appointment process.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have John Prince. Hi, John, can you hear us? John? Can't hear you. Let's see. I'm not sure if he has audio. Oh,
can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. All right. Sorry about that, folks.
No problem. If you look up at the top left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see that there's a 3-minute timer for you.
Perfect.
And we're ready when you are.
Fantastic. I'll just jump right in. Well, greetings to you all, counselors. Thank you so much for taking the time and consideration for appointments to the Eugene Budget Committee. It's really interesting times we're all living in, but I sincerely appreciate all you've done to keep the city on track and council business on schedule. My name is John Prince. I was born and raised right here in Eugene. I'm a product of the 4J School District, a graduate of South Eugene High School, was a student at Lane Community College for a time, and will soon be a graduate from the University of Oregon with a degree in business and economics. I was the Downtown Athletic Club's conference and events coordinator from 2011 until 2014. Where I helped manage staffing, day-to-day operations, and oversaw the creation, implementation, and of the budget. And essentially, it was a major profit center for the business. I'm currently the general manager and minority owner of the coffee shop on 13th, which I've been since 2017. So I've experienced managing a small business and the challenges that come along with that responsibility, such as trying to preserve the integrity of your business into the future, while making smart investments in things like people, technology, equipment, improvements to the facility to offer the greatest number of services to the community possible. I'm also the volunteer coordinator for the Whitaker Community Dinner, which serves over 1,000 individuals on Thanksgiving and provides them with additional services like clothing, medical services, and other goods. I'm fortunate to work with a really great group of individuals who we have a very small budget, so we have to do everything we can to stretch it as far as possible to benefit the greatest number of people as possible. And it's been a great thing to participate in. For the last 9 months, I've actually also been the campaign manager for Joel Aboa in his candidacy for Lane County Commissioner, which has been an amazing opportunity, and it's inspired me to find other ways that I can participate in our local government. As I've gone to community forum meetings, as I've attended different neighborhood association meetings, I feel like I have a much more balanced understanding for the issues that face our community, and also of the work that city councils, committees, and commissions do to better ensure that we're prepared for the challenges of tomorrow. What I'm looking to bring to the committee is a perspective of a student, a small business operator, and as a young person who's looking to be dedicated to the community that raised him. I want to continue to advocate for investment in critically needed services like infrastructure, public safety, transportation, livability, and affordability, while also preserving the integrity of our city's investments to ensure we set up Eugene for sustainable, responsible growth well into the future. My schooling in economics has really taught me about the fact that we live in a world with an infinite number of desires and a finite number of resources, and that while we do have quite a few challenges facing our community and they won't be easily solved, the essential work of these committees provide the best solutions, and it would be a privilege to be an honor to be a part of that process. So thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, John. Staff will be in touch with you about the appointment process, the final appointments will happen in June.
Great. Thank you all very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great rest of your evening.
All right, next up we have Sean Shivers. Hi, Sean.
Hello, how are you?
Good. We can hear you fine.
Awesome. So I'll just jump right into it then.
Perfect.
Sean Shivers, thank you all for inviting me to this process. Things are a little bit different than when I submitted my application, but our community was already at a crossroads with a lot of competing issues. Now we're facing some truly unprecedented challenges. But even with the pandemic, I don't think much has changed in how I plan on approaching the budget committee, which may sound weird, but my three biggest priorities have always been maintaining basic services, building resilience for the long term, and communicating with the public. We're going to have to make some hard decisions within a limited budget. In order to govern responsibly, we need buy-in from the folks we're serving. As you all know, that doesn't just come once every 4 years with an election. It doesn't just mean listening to people who show up to complain. It's a year-round process, and I look forward to being able to explain the system to folks who don't always have an accurate idea of what's going on and don't always have a window into the process. The city is responsible for maintaining the basic standards of living, fire, police, parks, and these are local. They're local services with local employees, and we set the priorities at a local level, but people don't feel included in the process a lot of the time. They actually have more influence, but they just aren't as involved. To me, getting that buy-in requires two-way communication. I have strong connections to Eugene's activist roots and community organizations. Particularly as chair of the police commission, I've gotten even more involved with neighborhood associations, First Fridays Communities of Color, community events like the Asian Celebration and the Whitaker Block Party. And for the past 2 years, I've developed ties with the business community as well, while working as an advertising consultant that called on me to travel across our city and talk with business owners, as well as some business owner organizations like Wake Up Eugene and the Chamber. Working on campaigns and in advising nonprofits and businesses, I also have experience managing budgets, finding efficiencies, and making priority calls. I also find that just being proactive and explaining stuff to folks, listening to their opinions, takes a lot of anger and confusion out of situations and saves a whole lot of time and argument, even if we don't end up going the exact way that they want us to. While working at KUGN, I started What's Up Eugene. It's a morning show that brings in folks from the city government to explain what's going on to the public. So to me, this isn't just a talking point. This is something that I care about doing on the during my off time. To me, it's about inviting folks in for more than just public comment. I'm sure you all have experience with how productive those can be. So even though the context of my service on the budget committee is a little bit different than when I signed up, I'm excited to join you and do my part building a resilient community, including folks in the process, and keeping Eugene's lights on. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Sean. Staff will follow up with you about next steps in the appointment process. The final appointment process will be in June.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
Okay, next up, we are moving on to Civilian Review Board. Jose Cortez was supposed to be next, and he is not on the call, and we've tried to call him as well and did not get a hold of him. So at least for now, I'm going to move along to Natalie Divins. Hi, Natalie, can you hear me? Hi, Natalie. Can you hear me all right? Let's see. Her audio hasn't kicked in. Let's see. Natalie, can you nod your head if you can hear me? I don't think she has audio set up on her computer. I'm going to remove her for the moment and then give her a call as we move along to somebody else. So, okay. William Whalen is next. Hi, William. Hi, William. Can you hear me?
I can. Sorry, I was getting my audio set up there.
No problem. If you look at the top left corner, you'll see the 3-minute timer, and we are ready to hear your statement when you are.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I appreciate your time this evening. My name is Bill Whalen. I live in Ward 5, and I want to thank you for letting me in this process for an appointment to the Civilian Review Board. As some of you may know, I've spent the last 6 years on the Police Commission, and I think this is a natural transition to my next working within the city's commissions and boards. And as on the Police Commission, you know, we looked at every policy to review it for transparency and to make sure that the public was aware of how the department worked. And I think that I would like to now work on the side to where we're making sure complaints and public investigations are both completed fairly and honestly within the city when people have issues with the department. And so I'd like to work on that side of it to do that. You know, I've been involved with many different pieces of the city. I was on the public safety revenue team, which helped the council and ultimately got that approved, and it passed to increase the funding for public safety in the city. So I think it's an important part for all of this. And I think in today's world, with a lot of scrutiny on police departments and the way they handle and act, I think it's important that the city continues to have things like the Civilian Review Board and the Police Commission to look at and make sure that we're doing everything we can to properly police our city and to do that in a fair and safe manner. I will cut this short. So I know you guys have a busy evening. And so I want to thank you again for your time this evening and your consideration for appointment to the board.
Thank you, Bill. Staff will follow up with you about next steps in the appointment process, and the final process will happen in June.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to Natalie. We had staff call her. She thinks she's ready to go. We'll try one more time. Hi, Natalie. So we cannot hear you. I don't know if you can hear us or not. And it's not because you're muted. I don't have an audio available with your sign in at all. So I'm gonna have staff give you another call and we'll figure it out.
Do it over the phone line, perhaps, Elena.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Never call in.
For now, I'm gonna put her back in the waiting room. Okay, so with that, we actually now have Jose Cortez back on the line. So I'm going to admit him for the Civilian Review Board. Hi, Jose, can you hear me?
I can.
Great, thanks for joining us. If you look at the top left corner of your screen, you'll see the 3-minute timer. And we are ready to hear your statement for the Civilian Review Board when you're ready.
Great, thank you. Hi, my name is Jose Cortez, and I'd like to thank you all for having me. And I'd like to apologize for my tardiness. I'm a new father and an adoptive father, and my wife is also a public school teacher. So we're dealing with a lot of contingency over here. And again, didn't mean to treat your time as though it's disposable in right now. So briefly, I'm from Spokane, Washington, born to a Mexican-American migrant. So I was raised in a migrant family. And I went to college at Eastern Washington University and then earned my PhD at the University of Arizona, where I studied the history of border policing. And that's what's led me to Eugene, Oregon. I'm faculty in the Department of English, where I study the history and politics of the U.S.-Mexico border, and particularly the border policing apparatus. My interest in this position came because of my background working in Washington State Department of Corrections. When I was a college student, I began working in the communications department, and I was tasked with communicating or kind of acting as the liaison between community and institution. And so I did a lot of mediating work, and it sort of shaped my foundational beliefs today about what it means to be to live in a community with civil institutions. So I believe that a strong state institution and civil rights are not incommensurate, and that the work to do is in mediating these two realms. They don't always talk to each other perfectly. I don't think that's ever going to be figured out. But I think that I'd be excited to do that work because that's the experience that I've had in the Washington State Department of Corrections and in my own professional research, looking at the history of the border policing in the United States. And that's my statement.
Thank you, Jose. Staff will be following up with you about the appointment process, and have a good evening.
Thank you all so much. Take care.
Okay, next up, we have Natalie, who did call in on the phone. So she's going to be on the line to give her Civilian Review Board statement. Hi, Natalie, can you hear us now? Natalie? Natalie, are you there?
Yes.
Hi. Sorry that wasn't working for you, but I'm glad that you were able to call in okay.
Yeah.
So your first statement will be for the Civilian Review Board, and we are ready for that whenever you are ready.
Okay, thank you. I will begin. Good evening, City Council. My name is Natalie Dybens, and I am interested in serving on the Civilian Review Board. My education includes bachelor's degrees in psychology and community studies with honors. My degrees are rooted in health and social justice, and I have had the opportunity to have training in harm reduction, diversity, mental health first aid, motivational interviewing, trauma-informed care, and leadership for community transformation, to name a few. I'm currently employed with Homes for Good as a veteran housing coordinator. Some of my other experiences include being a homeless shelter program manager for over 2 years and serving as a community assistant, also known as a resident assistant at my alma mater, to provide resources to the community and to support safety. I have volunteered in many capacities and organizations, serving a wide range of individuals and families. This has included a hospital, homeless services programs, and with people who are incarcerated. Most recently, I was volunteering with a youth center focused on mental health, and I also assisted with the Eugene Pit Count. I have worked with diverse individuals and groups who have provided me experiences and opportunities for insight into the unique perspectives and lives of others. I have experience with both leading and participating in multi-agency and department meetings and coalitions. I enjoy any possibility to contribute to the community. I appreciate the opportunity to work through options and ideas that serve and affect this community. Through my involvement in this board, I would aim to uphold transparency that is thorough and timely. I believe this would demonstrate accountability in regards to policing practices and experiences. I stand for healing and compassion for myself and all others. I have the capacity to offer my time and energy, and I believe I am able to offer a unique perspective. I appreciate your consideration of me as a new member on the Civilian Review Board, and I thank you for your dedication to this community. Thank you. And any additional time I'm willing to turn over to you all.
Thank you, Natalie. Thanks for being flexible with joining by phone. I'm going to go ahead and put you back into the waiting room now, and we'll call you back shortly for your statement for the Human Rights Commission.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. All right, moving along now to Human Rights Commission. We have Travis Baker up first.
Unshare your screen, Elena.
Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
Your name, very big in the middle.
That's the speaker view, Chris.
Yeah, I didn't want to be in that. Oh, I'm back. Good, I got it.
Okay. Hi, Travis. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. Good evening, counselors. My name is Travis Baker. I am applying today to be a part of the Human Rights Commission Board. I have a background in a psychology degree I obtained at Upper Iowa University. From that point, I began doing in-home care for persons with mental illness. Got to witness some of this. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
You're good. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Sorry, there was a technical delay. After serving in home care, I served as coordinating a case management program where I gained other knowledge of public and private systems. Now I am serving Homes for Good and Lane County as a landlord liaison. And this position is innovative in the way that it bridges the gap between public programs and private entities. So through that, I learned to innovate, create partnerships that are mutually beneficial and synergistic to the community from two different categories of, I would say, folks that don't necessarily always agree on things. So I'm applying today for the Human Rights Commission to bring my unique skill set to the city, where I believe we are at a point where public programs and private industry are learning to want the same thing. We want to support persons with mental illness, marginalized communities, and we also want the opportunity to collaborate together to find a solution that works for all of us. I believe that my unique skill set allows me to collaborate through cross-sector collaboration, and I have proven experience creating innovative partnerships within this community. I really look forward to serving on the Human Rights Commission and bringing this skill set. Appreciate your guys' time today and inviting me into your homes for this very innovative City Council meeting, and look forward to hearing from you later on. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thanks for your statement, Travis. Staff will follow up with you about next steps in the appointment process.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, next up we have Natalie again. I'm going to get her back on the line.
Allegedly.
Hi, Natalie. Are you there again?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, great. Now we're ready for your statement for the Human Rights Commission.
Okay. I will begin. Good evening again, City Council. My name is Natalie Dybens, and I'm interested in serving on the Human Rights Commission. My education includes bachelor's degrees in psychology and community studies with honors. My degrees are rooted in health and social justice, and I have had the opportunity to have training in harm reduction, diversity, mental health, first aid, motivational interviewing, trauma-informed care, and leadership for community transformation. I am currently employed with Homes for Good as a veteran housing coordinator. Some of my other work experiences include being a homeless shelter program manager for over 2 years and serving as a community assistant, also known as a resident assistant, at my alma mater to provide resources to the community. I have volunteered in many capacities and with many organizations, serving a wide range of individuals and families. This has included the Long Beach Memorial Hospital, homeless services programs in Santa Cruz, California, and with people who are incarcerated through the Friends Outside nonprofit organization. Most recently, I was volunteering with a youth center off River Road named the Elrod Center, focused on mental health, and I also assisted with the Eugene Pitts Count with Community Alliance of Lane County. I've worked with diverse individuals and groups who have provided me experiences and opportunities for insight into the unique perspectives and lives of others. I also have experience in being a representative and a collaborator in various settings. Additionally, I have experience of leading and participating in multi-agency and department meetings and coalitions. I enjoy any possibility to contribute to the community, and I appreciate the opportunity to work through options and ideas that serve and affect the community. Through my involvement with the Human Rights Commission, I would aim to bring awareness and action to disparities that are both seen and unseen. I stand for healing and compassion for myself and all others. I have the capacity to offer my time and energy, and I believe I'm able to offer a unique perspective. I appreciate your consideration of me as a new member on the Human Rights Commission, and I thank you for your dedication to this community. Thank you again, and I will forfeit any remaining time over to you all.
Thanks, Natalie. So staff will follow up about next steps in the appointment process. They'll probably happen in June.
Okay, sounds perfect.
Natalie, this is Counselor
Yes.
Zelenka. You applied for 2 different positions. Which one would you prefer?
Hard question. I somewhat expected it. It's a hard decision, but I think if I had to choose, the Human Rights Commission would be my first choice.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, next up, we have Silver Mogart. Hi, Silver, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, great, we can hear you too. If you looked up at the top left corner of the screen, you'll see a timer that'll count you down, and we're ready for your statement whenever you are.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes, we can.
So here we are, we're living in the future. Okay, hello. Here we are, we're living in the future, and the Jetsons just really misled me. I thought this video communication thing would be so much better. I believe you're up. So I'm getting a Zoom.
You can start over if you'd like.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, well, insert Jetson's joke here. Good evening, city councilors. My name is Silver Mogart, and I reside in Ward 3, the Councilor Zelenka's ward. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak with you all today. I recognize the difficult time you might have in deciding upon who's going to be on the Human Rights Commission, and many qualified and committed candidates. So I'm going to make that decision a little bit easier for you today. I'm going to withdraw my application for the cycle. I have a prior commitment on Tuesday nights that meets at the same day and same time. I serve on the Health Center's Health Council, and my perspective on that council is unique. And so if I were to step back, there wouldn't be somebody from the my specific background to represent immigrant and Latino communities. But I have every intention on applying again for the HRC once my term with the Health Council has come to an end. You can expect the same commitment from me at that point in time, given the opportunity to serve on this body. For future qualifications, I am the vice president and the co-founder of the League of United Latin American Citizens chapter, local. LULAC, it's a national, founded in 1929. LULAC's the oldest and largest Latino organization in the United States. It's responsible for the American GI Forum. LULAC also established the Mexican American Legal Defense Fund, or MALDEF. LULAC created the Little School of the 400, which became Head Start schools. And LULAC was also the final meeting that John F. Kennedy went to the night before he was assassinated in Texas. I'm also a former organizer for the Community Alliance in Lane County at the Back to Back program, which is one of the places where I've worked with a few of you. And I'm one of the founding members of the Occupy Eugene movement that took place here in Eugene. I currently serve on the Eugene Police Commission, and I hope that you would consider me for any future appointments once my time with the Health Center has come to an end. That's it.
Thank you, Silver.
Thanks, Silver.
Thanks for the thought that you put into making that decision.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a good night.
Okay, next up we have Heather Salicki. Hey, Heather, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, are you intending to join with video or without video?
I could join with video.
All right. If you look at the top left screen, there's a 3-minute timer, and we are ready for your statement whenever you want to start.
Okay. So my name is Heather Silicki, and I'm applying for the Human Rights Commission. And I've been on the Human Rights Commission Homelessness Working Group since 2006. And I'm very interested in trying to work towards eliminating the systemic barriers that really keep us from providing equitable services for everyone in our community. When I look at the mission of the Human Rights Commission, I feel that I am currently qualified to be able to serve. First of all, you provide human rights education. I have an experience both in training adults for learning, teaching people communication skills, and I've been involved with a wide variety of community service organizations and groups, teaching about not just tolerance, but empathy towards individuals. When we were trying to help people understand homelessness, we showed a series of videos and movies to the community at the community centers, and just kind of creates opportunities for discussion. Because even though we have diverse experiences, there's often a common framework that unites us. Your other mission, being proactive in human rights efforts, I feel like that really comes into play now with the experiences that we're having with the COVID-19 response, trying to find spaces for people who are unhoused to shelter safely in place. I really feel like one of the things that the Human Rights Commission should be working on this year is making housing class a protected status. We can see in the hotels refusing to allow people to stay there, that we need to stop this form of discrimination where landlords can tell people who are homeless that they don't rent to homeless people, or hotels can say, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to rent to homeless people. We need to be able to accommodate differences in economic choice as well as a community. And I think land use is a place where we need to start becoming more proactive towards human rights. Your other mission item is addressing human rights violations. I'm not sure if you have a specific way to really review those, the way the police commission reviews some of the violations that we see. But I think I would want to work with the community that's impacted by human rights violations and investigate hate and bias. We haven't really been looking at the hate and bias that people who are unhoused have been subjected to, and I look forward to finding ways to strengthen the investigation for that community. Ensuring public participation. I have a lot of experience in leading public meetings and community organizing, websites, newsletters, trying to span different communication tools in order to reach different age groups. I have experience as a Generation X, I'm that bridge generation between boomers and millennials and Zoomers, and I think can help to try to expand our age range for the Human Rights Commission. For being transparent and open, nothing about us without us, I think is an important statement. I'd like to see more open meetings and opportunities for public participation by really targeting communities that haven't participated in the past. And then last, being publicly accountable for human rights progress. We strive to have the equality of city services provided to all people, but are we really doing that? I'd like to see us review policies that have disparate impact on people living in poverty or without housing, so that we can be sure that we are being fair to all of our community members and actively protecting the human rights of people.
Thank you, Heather. Your 3 minutes are up. Thank you. Staff will be in contact about appointments.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Next up is Daniel Patrick Isaacson. So we're moving along to the Planning Commission. So he will give his statement and then you will ask the questions, which I believe Councillor Semple is going to ask. Hi, Daniel.
Hello.
All right, you can hear me and I can hear you. If you look at the top left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a timer that'll count down your 3-minute statement. I'll have you do that first when you're ready, and then council will have a few follow-up questions for you as well.
Great. So good evening, Your Honors. I'd like to extend my thanks to the council and Mayor Vinis for the opportunity to meet with you tonight, the city staff for coordinating this event, and the other candidates for their commitment to volunteering their time on such an important commission. You know, Eugene is a unique town in that our city is a collection of strong, independent neighborhoods that come together to share policy, ideas, resources. I came here as a student in 1998 and spent 7 years here before moving to Chicago, where I worked on and received my master's degree in public administration. I found that Chicago isn't that different in that respect. And it was that work with neighborhoods that helped me really understand how a vibrant, deep-seated, proud culture that runs through the heart of each neighborhood came to find representation within its councils to balance the needs of change and development with a desire to minimize gentrification and to create a safe and warm city that strives to include everybody. When I moved back to Eugene in 2017, I was really surprised at how much had changed, but also thankfully that our soul had not. Since returning home to run a small business here in Eugene, I have volunteered my time on several boards, including NAMI and Reality Kitchen. I'm active in the River Road and Whitaker neighborhoods, and I also co-chair the Suicide Prevention Coalition of Lane County, which this year will train over 900 folks in our community to know what to look for and also, more importantly, what to do when they see someone in crisis. There's no secret to how to plan and grow a city. I believe our job is to take the council and the mayor's vision and apply it to the ground level on policy that will likely impact generations of Eugenians. My own personal philosophy is that all of us are in the business of asking the how questions. How can you empower people economically in a way that lifts poor neighborhoods as well as individual people? How can you fight climate change by making investments that are actually profitable over the long run? How can you ensure a family of color moving into a neighborhood feels just as at home as walking through it as someone who looks like me? How can you figure out a way to get all the new people who are moving here into affordable housing? It's not just what are you going to do and how much money you're going to spend on it, it's how are you going to do it if you want to ensure the city's character and create promise and overcome problems. HB 2001 represents a unique set of challenges in that our city grows for sure. But how does that blend with our overall strategy on expanding high-speed internet access for everyone, for example, or creating easy access transportation to the city's planned economic growth along the riverfront and downtown? How do we ensure inclusiveness to our unhoused citizens? How do we use emerging technology to address the needs of our citizens? And how do we keep an eye on the missing middle is key also. You know, we always want to leave the next generation a new set of problems, not the same set. I think it's really important to think of your work that way. That's what I look forward to trying to do on the Planning Commission. I thank you for all of your time.
I have your first question.
Sure.
What key issues would you hope to address as a member of the Planning Commission?
I think right out of the gate, the most important thing to do is to have people have a conduit to the process. I think one of the really great possibilities that have come out of COVID-19 is that we have the opportunity to get to know our neighbors. I think I've talked to more of my neighbors in the past month than I have in probably the past year. And so allowing people who sometimes don't know how to connect about what their issues are is what prevents them from participating. And I don't expect everyone to show up at meetings, but if they know that their neighbor upstairs or down the block serves on the Planning Commission, they're more likely to have a voice in the process.
I forget about this muting stuff. As a group, the Planning Commission often works on lengthy processes and decisions. Describe your skills, experience, and approach that will assist you in working in a constructive, collaborative manner.
Well, for one, my master's degree was in planning and development. And if you've ever been to Chicago, you know that the neighborhoods there are a little bit of a census going on right now, or at least we're trying to have a census going on right now. And so we probably have a new congressman coming into, or congresswoman, excuse me, coming into the state. So where all that federal money is going to be coming in and where it goes is going to be really paramount. And so from my own personal experience, it's coming to use the assets I did when I was in my master's program and bringing it to Eugene to try to find a way that we can talk as a group rather than our own little enclave.
Once again, the Planning Commission must often consider and balance complex issues when reviewing planning documents and making land use decisions. In your opinion, what are the most important factors for the Planning Commission to consider in these efforts?
I think precedence is important. I mean, I don't think that it's a really good idea that, I mean, my own personal vision is that you look at what the other people who have come before you. Institutional memory is important. And what was the heart of their decision-making process. And again, bringing in the community to incorporate what was there before with why does it need to be changed now? Are we looking for the 20-year program? Are we looking for the 30-year program? I think it's really a mistake to look at how to react instantaneously to a policy that may be impacting my great-grandchildren on River Road or on Harlow or on West 11th.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much. Take care. Good night.
Thanks, Daniel. Staff will follow up with you about next steps in the appointment process.
Thank you.
Okay, and lastly, we have Rebecca Blankenship, and she is not on the line with us. We've tried to reach her and call her. I believe she was going to try and get on during her lunch break, which is why she had some issues with her timing, but we haven't been able to reach her. So I think we're finished.
So we're going to give her an opportunity some other time.
I think that's up to you all.
Yes, we need to. It shouldn't be that she's discounted because she couldn't her break. She has to work.
You should be able to eat lunch and still apply.
Yeah, so staff can follow up with her to see if we can incorporate her into a future meeting.
And maybe
Can I make a suggestion?
in it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I wonder, another way, it wouldn't be quite as personable, but if she could record herself and make her statements via recording, answer the Planning Commission questions and then her human rights statement.
Yeah.
And you guys could send that to us. That might be a way to deal with this.
Or maybe on Wednesday's meeting.
Or
yeah, we did accommodate folks last year in this fashion.
Yeah, we did.
So we did it at the following meeting.
And it's more complex with the technology issue this year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be great if she could do it on Wednesday.
All right, well, we'll follow up with her.
Thank you, Elena.
Thanks, Elena. Good job, by the way.
Anything else? Because I have my gavel here. Hey, good job.
A stapler.
For you.
Elena, nice job orchestrating that. It was great.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.